Hey, welcome back. I'm Admiral Jedi. Welcome back to my Crusader Kings, Paradox Interactive Mega Series historical playthrough, playing as the modern-day nation of Turkey and starting with Crusader Kings III. This is video 7. Also, hopefully, new and improved sound quality. So I want to thank you, or send a shout-out to the guy on my YouTube channel, who basically said, let's see, Valhalla. So I want to shout out to Valhalla, who said, please get a pop filter. The S sounds are unbearable at points. So I didn't get a pop filter, but I did get a frickin' Yeti X microphone, which is sitting right in front of me. So let's give it a shot. Sufferin' Succotash, sweepstakes, subscribers. How are my S's sounding? And I'm not being sarcastic. I want to thank Valhalla for having the guts to stand up and say, hey, this is how we can improve the videos, because I always want to hear those kind of comments. So thank you for that. We're going to pick up right where we left off in the year 1351 AD. We're a little bit ahead of schedule here, as always. So let's kind of take a look around and see what's up. So we have the forming Ottoman Empire occupying a lot of Anatolia. We're a bit ahead of schedule on that one because over time the Ottomans did sort of include, quote-unquote, more people. Also, this set of territories up here in the north is really not historical at all. But that's, I've got a vassal who I think I'm going to really need to rein in. And you know, somebody also said, you got to look at his personality. Parochial? So I would have expected somebody who's aggressive and ambitious to be doing all this stuff, and he's not. So that is a little bit disturbing. I'm gonna have to rein this guy in, I'm pretty sure, because I've got this guy's got realm size of 20, and so we might need to split that up a little bit somehow. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. Although I might not keep an eye on that. So here's how this video is going to go. This is going to be the last video in Crusader Kings III. We are now in the era of Orhan, who was the son of Osman, who was the son of Ertuğrul. I love that I was able to finally accomplish these historical names. So Orhan's son, Suleiman, is set to be the heir to everything. I switched to harmonious succession. I thought I switched to primogeniture. What's going on here? Oh gosh, I didn't realize that at all. Okay, that's bad. But I guess because I'm in harmonious succession, he still gets it all. Okay, that kind of caught me by surprise. Anyway, moving on. Suleiman was intended to be the heir to the Ottoman Empire. Well, I guess they would have considered it an empire. We're not officially an empire yet. You know what? I should probably do that High Crown Authority right away, actually. But what ended up happening is he died in possibly a hunting accident or on his horse, historically speaking. And it was his brother, Murad, not Ibrahim, Murad, who ended up being the Sultan at that time. And so we're going to go from the Orhan era to the Murad era in this video, and that will be the first part of what we do. And that leads us really to our goals for this video. So under Murad, there was another huge set of expansions that we're going to work on right away. Even though, again, we're a little bit ahead of, we're quite a bit ahead of schedule, actually. And so we're gonna go after these kingdoms: the Kingdom of Bulgaria and the Kingdom of Thessalonica. Okay. That's going to be really what we're going to go after pretty much the whole game, and also will end up being where we end the game at. That's the first thing that we're going to do. The second thing we're going to do is around 1414, I believe, so we have quite a bit of time to go there. There was really an interregnum, they call it, basically, where the Timurids, I believe, do they even exist? Doesn't look like it. Claiming to be related to the former Khanid Mongol, basically came against the Ottomans and defeated them. And what that allowed is for the entire Anatolian platform to once again go back to individual little, beyliks and stuff like that. And it was under whose leadership was that? Mehmed I, not to be confused with Mehmed II, the Conqueror, probably one of the most famous Ottoman sultans ever. So anyway, this interregnum period occurred where it was all broken up, and they fought over restoring Ottoman. I don't think I'm going to do that for two reasons. One, I'm not exactly going to just invite someone to come conquer me. And two, game mechanics don't really allow me to put things back together like that. It was very, very difficult to do when we downsized after the Mongolian conquests. So we're just going to keep playing, basically. We're going to play through, and the rest of this video, like I said, is going to be conquering those two kingdoms. We're also going to keep an eye out for something very special, and I think it's in this area, and that is the area of Varna. There it is, right there. All right. Right here, a very, very famous battle, and this would be in the last year that we're going to play Crusader Kings III, 1444, and the start of EU4. The Battle of Varna, which is a crusade, was finally launched against the Ottomans, and it was not successful, and it was the defeat of the 1444 Varna Crusade that really opened the way for the Ottomans to ultimately conquer Constantinople and begin their huge, huge, huge expansion through Europe and Africa. So what we are going to try to do is hope for a crusade being launched against us and defeat it. And lastly, in these final 100 years, the Ottomans had wars with Bulgarians, which again, we said we're going to do. There are no Bulgarians in Bulgaria at this point, which is kind of odd. So they had wars with Byzantines. Hellas still is taking the place of Byzantine. I believe they're Orthodox Greek. Yeah, that's right. And Bulgarians were going to interact with them. Serbians came later. There were skirmishes during this time, but no wholesale conquest, or at least that's not my understanding, of Serbia during this time. And then also that all these wars and battles sort of really brought them into conflict with Hungarians. Now, I'm not seeing Hungarians. Perhaps Great Moravia is representing Hungary at this point. But of course, we're going to see a lot more of that in Europa Universalis IV. So that's really our our 3 goals. Is we're going to take those 2 kingdoms, Bulgaria, Thessalonica. We're going to hope for a crusade against us. It's going to be absolutely awesome if we can actually fight it in Varna. Don't know why anyone would want to come here. Maybe for this tournament that's there. But anyway, and then we're going to sort of rack up our conquest, or our eneminess, our opposition to Hungary, Serbia, Byzantines. That's our goals. Let's get to it. One of the first conquests in the Murad era was the city of Adrianople, known as Edirne. And so that's where we're going to start out. Oddly enough, Venice occupies this, because Venice, randomly decides to take territories in the middle of the Byzantine Empire alongside their wacky Jerusalem. Anyway, so much border gore all over that. I love how Kent is over here in the Brittany, France area. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. So we're going to go to war with Venice, and they're pretty buff, actually. But we should be able to just try and take this. We could just go for duchy on this one. And, yeah, specifically Philippolis. So we're going to take this back from them, and it's actually a huge part of the Kingdom of Bulgaria, right, which is part of our goal. So we're going to get to work on that right away, if I can actually click. There we go. And just take that duchy from them to begin with. Let's go. To war, to war. Alright, let's get on in there and take it from them. I know I don't really show battles all that much. I may call an ally in on this one, just because I don't want that. See, they got holy orders already. So what do we have? 51 versus 43. I don't really like those numbers, so we'll double up on that a little bit. I've got a dude who comes in and helps me all the time. Georgia? Yeah, let's bring you in, Georgia. He needs to prove himself. But yeah, my homie in the Grand Emirate. Alright, hey, I like to make sure they're not in war first, because I hate when people call me to war when I'm already in a war. Alright, that should do it. Let's fast forward. Fast forward to 1352, and the conquest of that duchy is done. We're going to send troops off to assist an ally in another war. But I'm going to do something that has some historical precedent here. And here's what we're going to do. I'm holding too many titles at this point, so that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and grant, probably Adrianopolis is a bad idea, but we're going to do it for the point of just sort of talking about this. We're going to grant those titles to this kid who is Orthodox Sicilian. Okay, and what about the duchy? Oh, he currently holds it. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to do that for two reasons. One is I can tax him as a jizya district. He's probably in here already somewhere, because I'm not showing untaxed. Alright, anyway, so we'll deal with that later. But the other thing, from a more historical precedent perspective, is especially with the Orthodox Christian community, they were fanatical about staying away from what was called Latin influence, or the influence of Rome. That the great schism between the Roman Catholic Church and the Greek Orthodox Church, that was in fact why the Roman Pope never really organized an effective crusade against the Ottomans to help the Byzantines, even while they were being overrun by yours truly. They were like, yeah, we'll help you as long as you give up your heretic ways and come back to the true faith of the Roman Catholic Church. And the Orthodox were like, nuh-uh, we're never going to do that. So the Pope's like, all right, well, enjoy your suffering. So anyway, the Ottomans, quote-unquote, stood up. They did not require Orthodox Christians to convert to Islam, but rather eventually considered themselves the protectors of their Orthodox Christian vassals. So we're going to make this guy a sort of main vassal of ours, and we're going to, quote-unquote, protect him from the horrible Roman Catholic Church. I don't mean that, of course. I'm just talking about the perspectives historically at the time. Ooh, baby. I am excited after the fall of Adrianople. One of my favorite purple feathers is here. Decision. Found a new empire. Second time I'll have done this in the series. First was the Seljuk Empire. And now we are founding Ottoman Empire. Rise of the Ottomans, and me still in my pajamas. I must be sick. Ottoman Empire has become your primary title in the year 1352 AD. I have no idea if that's historically accurate or not. I don't think it is. Because basically, emperors back then really considered themselves, if they were an emperor, if basically they have overlordship of more than one kingdom. Now, I do appreciate the way that Crusader Kings really does this with de jure kingdoms and everything like that. I mean, heck, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4 kingdoms in just on the Isle of Great Britain itself and call yourself an emperor, right? England kind of worked, in a different way, where they're basically saying, hey, we want to unite to one single United Kingdom, which is where that name comes from. So anyway, back then there were, even in this area, somebody'd be like, they took like 2 cities and they're like, I'm an emperor. So, Crusader Kings puts in place the requirement of, the certain amount of realm size. So we had to have been over 80. Oh, we're at 80. Okay, cool. And we were able to form the Ottoman Empire right here in the last Crusader Kings video. So very happy to do that. A little minor historical note here. Prince Halil, Orhan's son, was murdered. Indeed, he was murdered by his own brother, Murad, who ends up becoming the next sultan. He was murdered in 1362 in real life, and in the game, he was murdered in 1365. So it's kind of cool. Not the mental stress that it brings about with it, but whatever. For the life of me, I cannot kill off Suleiman, my current heir, so that I've been trying to have him do a bunch of horse races and stuff like that, so he can die in a horse accident, like he did in real life. But that hasn't happened. So Murad is supposed to be, and I think he's brother number 3, actually. Ibrahim, yeah, there he is. So this guy's supposed to be the heir, and I suppose I could do that dealy where you say who the heir actually is, but, okay. Oh, I would need to move to absolute crown authority, so, not super interested in doing that. Maybe I'll do it, let's see. Oh, I think I have to wait. 13, so I'd have to wait for 8 more years. But I think it's kind of more fun to try and kill Suleiman off in a horse accident. So bring on the tournaments. Alright, I am dead. It is 1371, and I'm kind of laughing because I've had death's door knowing that I was going to die, and then somebody gave me a wedding invitation. I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could die at their wedding, which is exactly what happened. So I don't think that's very historical, but I've always wanted to have one of my characters die at somebody else's wedding. That's just freaking epic. So anyway, Orhan is dead. Remember, Orhan was the son of Osman. And we've been, play-wise, in the sort of Murad era anyway, and kind of past him. So let's just kind of take stock here. As I'm sat at my table about to break my fast. Oh, okay, never mind. This is just me learning that my father died. He did not deserve to die so far from home. That's pretty funny. Anyway, so we're playing as Suleiman right now, and we really shouldn't be. We should be playing as Murad. I can't really make that work unless I want to kill myself or, do some crazy stuff, which I really don't want to. So we're going to continue on in the Murad era until 1414, which has not quite happened yet. So we're rapidly expanding through all of our land, and part of me is getting tempted to just conquer the remaining lands and call it a day, and fast forward to Europa Universalis, so to speak. However, I'm not going to do that, and instead I'm going to run the clock down all the way to 1444, with the hopes that somebody launches a crusade against me, and so that we might actually have the Varna Crusade, and holy cow, it'd be awesome to actually fight a huge battle in Varna. I don't think that's going to happen. Definitely the Varna battle is probably not going to happen, but we're going to keep an eye out for that crusade and just fast forward the clock. So for now, even though we're playing Suleiman, who should have died in a horse accident by now, we're going to pretend like we're playing his brother, Murad. And unfortunately, did I get this right? No. I've, like, way lost track of the names. We've gotten to, like, grandsons and great-grandsons at this point. So that's going to be a little rough. We're going to have to zoom in on this guy, I guess, who's going to be my heir, and start naming kids when he has kids. Oh, look, he's a little butterfly, compassionate, and curious child. Okay. Anyway, so that's where we're at, and we're going to keep going. Alright, here it is. The Crusade for Serbia. I don't know that that's exactly what happened, but I think this is going to be as close as we're going to get to the Varna Crusade. So, I'm stuck in a little bit of a war right now, but I think those crusades, yeah, launches in 14 months. Alright, so it's 220,000 people against me so far. Let's hope I get some support. Only 4 months away, and this crusade is looking like it's going to be very punishing. More than twice our forces. Well, maybe not. Yep, more than twice. So that sucks. Yeah, I'll take your 10 gold. Do I really want to feast before the crusade? Not really. What else do I want to do? What else do I not want to do? Hunt before the crusade? Nope, sorry. Maybe that's why there's not enough people on my side, because they're all feasting and hunting. And it's like, this dude's like, I'll give you 2,500 troops. Is there any? Oh, I'll give you 7. Sweet. Okay, 13,000, 11,000, 11,000. Where's all my 50s, 60s, and 70s at? Do you not at all care about the faith? I mean, I've got a single ally who's like, well, my 67,000 are gonna... I don't know. I don't think you can call allies to crusades. So, it's looking like it is going to be a historically inaccurate defeat. Unless I can just catch them all coming off the water and whoop them. But, I don't see that happening. So, I'll bring you in for a couple of the battles. Alright. Crusade has begun. And look at all these. That's pretty funny. Rally the troops. Alright, let's see how long I can not hold them off for. This is feeling like a redo of my Hearts of Iron 4 France experience. They're gonna encircle me. So far, I've got a good meat grinder going, where 281,000 bars, and we've already killed or caused 94,000 to retreat with only 8,500 losses. Now, I don't know that the Crusade of Varna was that one-sided, but hopefully we'll keep it going and boot these guys off the land. Let's keep watching the numbers go up. I've got it on 2 speed because it's just lagging to death. And so you can see they're everywhere and just seem to be making their way over. But I can't even see my armies anymore. There's no... Oh, there we are. Okay, I guess we've got multiple battles going on. And retreats have started. That sucks. Alright, the hits keep on coming. I found a mountain place with a river crossing that has defensive buildings, and everyone's like, let's go attack them there. Good plan, guys. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. In fact, everybody attack us right here. Okay, good. No, everybody, get on up there. But one at a time, okay? Just one at a time. Ah, dang it, the meat grinder ended. Time to go start another one. Alright, with some clever ally usage and some... Oh, wow, no, never mind. We were at 97%. I just lost a massive one. What is that? Okay, I was going to say, we were at 97%. We were about to win this crusade, and we just got a massive hit. I suppose this is the capital. Serbia, yeah. Bummer, massive hit. We were close. Alright, let's try that again. We got meat grindage going on here. So, we're gonna work on. Alright, we recovered with a big battle, and we can end it. The Crusade for the Kingdom of Serbia has, and it wasn't for the Kingdom of Serbia historically, but historically I can say that it failed. Because that is historically accurate. Alright, so we have done a fair amount of our conquering. Serbia was not part of the plan. That was due to a vassal. We are occupying pretty much all of Thessalonica. And all that remains, I think, are, what, 2 duchies? Well, okay, in the Kingdom of Bulgaria... 2 more duchies. Let's get this done right. Looks like Vidin, Moesia, and Dobruja. So now the Battle of Varna, the big Battle of Varna that happened in 1444 at the end of the Crusade that we potentially just replicated, I'm pretty sure was in Dobruja. So let's look around for Varna real quick. Okay, oh yeah, sure, there it is. Right there. So we fought close to it, did we? Is that really true? Kingdom of Serbia? No, we didn't fight close to it, I was wrong. Well, we were 1 kingdom over. So anyway, we got 2 out of 3 things done. The Crusade is done, and so we're going to finish our conquering and push to 1444 and call it. That Crusader Kings III segment of this historical playthrough mega series will be complete in this video. A couple of items here on the map as we're in 1384 AD and prosecuting my next battle against the Byzantines to capture, what is this again? Bulgaria, or the Bulgarian area. So, number 1, the Ilkhanate has shown up, and they claimed, from a historical perspective, to basically be the heirs to the Mongol Empire in this area, and they would have claimed overlordship over the entire Anatolian area, and actually did end up coming into conflict with the Sultan Murad, or was it Bayezid? I'm getting all my names messed up. Anyway, they did end up coming into conflict with the Sultan, who was defeated by them. And this led to the fracturing, once again, of the Anatolian plateau. I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to do that just from a pure gameplay perspective. If they attack me, so be it. I will fight. But in the meantime, I did just send them an offer of alliance. The second geographical thing that's somewhat interesting is, previously I kind of made fun of Venice for plopping down this, for conquering this duchy right in here. What was it? Yeah, Philippolis. It turns out that they did take Thessaloniki, in actuality, and that was back and forth. I believe this city, where's the specific city here? Okay, so it's going to be the capital of this. Let's actually get to the duchy. Yeah, Thessaloniki. Okay, and so it's that city right there which apparently, you know, looks like kind of a deep harbor and everything. And as we know, Venetians were all about trade and ships and all that sort of thing. So I kind of made fun of that earlier, but not realizing that it was had some basis in history. So go Venice, I suppose. Except for, you know, we're gonna go after Venice. In fact, there was a time where the Ottomans did invade, I believe it was the Serbian area, and so this piece right here, we may go get that, just to sort of honor the history behind it. Plus, it'll give me somebody else to wage war on while I'm waiting for 5 years worth of truces to expire with the Byzantines. Anyway, a couple interesting tidbits there for you. The year is 1392, and I realized that we're 3 years after a very important event, which was the Battle of Kosovo, which occurred between the Ottomans and the Serbians, Ottoman Sultan Murad, who I'm playing, and Serbian Prince, I believe it's pronounced Rebeljanovich. This happened in 1389. While the Ottomans were victorious, both leaders died. I don't know about directly in the battle, but as a result of the battle. And also, again, not knowing anything, so I apologize to my Serbian friends about this event. I believe the Battle of Kosovo, I believe this is Kosovo. I believe that the names are weird. I don't know what Vosno is, but I've done a little bit of looking around on the maps. I believe we're kind of roughly in the right area. But this was a very, very important event in Serbian history. I can't speak to it any more than that. My apologies, but that happened 3 years ago. So officially this guy's dead. And we weren't playing Murad anyway. We've been playing Suleiman because I wasn't able to get the inheritance down. So there's Murad. He's already dead. And his son, Bayezid, should be in charge now. So we have moved on as of 1389, so we're 3 years past, from the Murad era to the Bayezid era. A few things happened in the Bayezid era. There was a completion of territorial conquest south of the Danube. This is the Danube. And so we need to finish that. I want to take this duchy, but I don't know who's in there doing what, and I don't feel like messing with them, so we're gonna do this one instead, which I think is Dobruja. Right? There we go. Alright, all your duchies belong to me. So, Bayezid should bring to completion his era with this, with the full conquest, like I said, towards our goals, in the kingdom area of Bulgaria. We already own too much of Serbia right now, so I'm not going to do anything more. And really, once this Bulgarian conquest is complete, historically speaking, these folks, the Ilkhanate, would have threatened us and we would go to war with them. I already mentioned I'm not going to do that because I just don't really feel like breaking up the entire kingdom again, which is what happened. So this area was known as Anatolia, and this area was referred to by the Ottomans as Rumelia here. And these were separated, and they would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, fighting the people that were rebelling here, and then fighting the people that were rebelling here, and then fighting the... And then, when Bayezid was captured, which is coming up, I'm gonna get back in and talk about that here in a few years, then basically all the smaller rulers kind of went yippee and declared freedom, and we'd have to put the entire thing back together again, which I'm really not interested in doing. Because we're getting close to the end of this, we're going to move on with this video. And basically what happened is they put it back together and then got back everything that they had before. So, I'm going to be violating pure historicalness just to sort of get this thing wrapped up, because we're there. Alright, dead at 85 years old, which is probably good. Sultan Suleiman, who really should have been Sultan Murad, has given way to his heir, who should be Sultan Bayezid, but it's not, it's Suleiman II. So we're gonna keep on going as that, and again, hopefully we can name some kids. Well, I've already got kids, so that kind of sucks. But hopefully we can name some heirs. So anyway, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup and keep going. We're in a war to help the Ilkhanates as opposed to fighting them. Not historically accurate. And I think the next kind of major dealie we're going to be pushing for is probably 1414, so you're probably not going to hear from me much until then. Fast forward. It's July 28th, 1402, and on this day, in history, but not in the game, Khan Tamerlane, or Timur, sometime of the Timurids, basically of the Ilkhanates, these guys here, met with Sultan Bayezid, who I'm theoretically playing. Again, it's actually Suleiman, right? In battle at Ankara, which has been really hard to find. I'm pretty sure this is it, Ankara. And the Sultan was defeated and captured and presumably killed shortly after that. Basically, in one day, all of this was undone and rebuilt again over the next, like 15 years. Not doing that. Okay, sorry. But we will at least talk about it. And so this guy instead, I'm allied to him. So a little bit of an alt history here. But that was just too much for me to do. So anyway, all of his sons, Bayezid's sons, split off into varying factions trying to compete for what he had, which was really just kind of this area here and here a little bit that we started from at the beginning of our Ottoman playthrough. And it was this kid, Mehmed I, who would end up coming out on top of that. So we're going to be playing with him pretty shortly. I don't think I could do this much justice on my own, so I'm going to just read it directly from Carolyn Finkel's book, Osman's Dream. Through contacts facilitated by the Sultan's Serbian wife Mara, the leaders Vladislav of Hungary-Poland, John Hunyadi of Transylvania, and George Branković of Serbia sent an embassy to Murad in Edirne, where on the 12th of June, 1444, which we're at right now, a 10-year truce was agreed. Around this time, Murad called his young son Mehmed to Edirne from the West Anatolian city of Manisa. Where's my young son? There he is. He was 12 at the time, but right now he's 17. Bemused, Murad's commanders warned him of the threat from the crusading Venetian fleet. Venice is way outsized at this point, but that's fine. Which by mid-July was off the Peloponnese, but to the amusement of all, he announced that he was giving up the throne. On the 12th of June, 1444, Sultan Murad abdicated the throne in favor of his son, Mehmed II, also to be known as Mehmed the Conqueror. Now, I don't think we can do that, abdicate. There are some ways where if you reach maximum stress level, you can do that. Instead of abdicating, however, what we are going to do is end. End this series in Crusader Kings III and proceed to the next series in Europa Universalis IV. When the abdication occurred, all of the sort of Western Christian leaders took it as a sign of weakness. Continuing from the book, when the Edirne truce was confirmed by Vladislav, Hunyadi, and Branković in Hungary in August, Vladislav and Hunyadi swore false oaths, having been absolved in advance by the papal legate to the kingdoms of Bohemia, Hungary, and Poland, Cardinal Giuliano Cesarini. Between 18 and 22 of September 1444, the crusading Hungarian army crossed the Danube on its eastward march. So, they basically put their fingers behind their backs, right, and swore false oaths. So the truth was basically invalid from the very beginning. Or, excuse me, the truce. And they invaded in 1444, and the famous Crusade of Varna was fought. Did I pick it out in the right place? Where's Varna? Here, Varna. There we go. And remember, we already did this sort of symbolically in a crusade earlier. So once the crusade was launched in 1444, Sultan Murad was actually recalled, and Mehmed was forced to step down, and Murad fought the crusade. What we're going to do is end the Crusader Kings III series right here. Let's take a look around. The Ottoman Empire is, unfortunately, majorly oversized, not by my doing, by my vassals' doing. Okay, up here in the north, in Africa, a little bit too far down here as well. You can see what all this looks like. We've had a pretty... We're completely full, technology-wise. Reached the end. All other technologies researched. Also, our legacies, brilliance, customs, warfare, law, guile, blood, erudition, glory, everything except kin, and activities. So this is really it. All this from a tiny little tribe that migrated in from Oghuz, landed in the Anatolian Plateau, and became one of the world's largest empires. Now, this is just the beginning, though. Just the beginning, because we're going to see more. We're going to see the true rise of the Ottoman Empire. An empire whose power has only just begun. This brings an end to the Crusader Kings portion of the Turkey mega series. I want to thank my one viewer for watching, and I hope you'll keep following me in Europa Universalis IV.